to give a bit more information that you could listen to before or after you've done the grounding practice. So grounding, what is it? Well, it's just a practice where we drop the attention down into whatever's touching the ground. And traditionally it's called feet on the floor, or you may have heard it called feet on the floor, body on the chair. But actually, if it's not your feet touching down and you're lying on your back because you're lying in bed because you're not feeling so great, or if you want to lie on the ground and put your legs up on the sofa or on a chair, or if you're just lying flat on the ground, then whatever is touching down is where we're taking our attention to the sensations. And why is that helpful? Because when we're suffering from trauma distress, the symptoms or experiences of trauma, then there's tons going on here in the body sensations, and I probably don't need to tell you what that's like, and I definitely don't want to trigger you in any way by talking about them, but let's just name a few. A pounding heart, or a shortness of breath, a sense of grip around the ribs, a horrible feeling in the tummy like clench or tingles, or all of these sensations, but they also come with mind states of worrying, planning, kind of using the mind to create a future, or using the mind to remember the past. And then the mind states and the body states also have emotional states. So we name these like, I have anxiety, I have fear, I have dread. So they're kind of all tangled up together as an experience. The thoughts we're having, the name we give them by way of emotional names, sometimes we call those feelings, but of course feelings also means sensation for us in English language. So the body sensations, and the point is they're all kind of happening up here. And if we can take our attention down, 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 all the way down to what's touching the ground, normally what's touching the ground isn't involved in those sensations. So it's just really helpful to know that there's another part of our body that we could access that could be helpful to us, that could be a friend to us in that distress. And certainly this has been my experience, the possibility of finding a part of my body that's untriggered, and finding that the earth can kind of communicate with that part of my body stability. All of this is moving, and often moving fast, but the stability that's there can just be a moment of relief. Okay, kind of touch down, touch in, feel that the ground isn't moving, that the earth is solid and stable and reliable in some way, that every time we come back to the ground, it's solid, it's stable, it's reliable. Now you kind of need to check this out for yourself, because if you're doing this on a squashy mattress, you may feel, it's not very solid, in which case it can be really helpful to use the hands to reach out and touch a piece of furniture or touch the wall. Or if you're standing up, like on an underground train or on an aeroplane or any of these places where we can quite often be triggered by what's going on around the outside of us, find something that's solid and let sensation communicate this stability through our nerve endings into us, into the being, if you like, beneath the mind, beneath the body, into the sense of knowing, it's solid, it's solid. So grounding, so that's what it is. It is literally just dropping down into whatever is touching the ground. And if you don't have any sensation in your feet, to remember you can use your back, you can use your hands. Okay, so to use grounding, we have to be prepared to stop what we're doing, become stationary, and choose to do the practice. So you may want to listen to the audio about giving yourself permission to practice and reasons to practice, why it's beneficial to practice, why it's good for you but also good for all of the people around you. So check that out. You also may want to listen to the little audio on curiosity, on what it is and why it works, why it's important, because these are really essential. To be able to ground, we have to stop, and to be able to ground, we have to engage this curiosity. So I really hope those little clips will be helpful. And then last of all, I was just going to read you some words from Thich Nhat Hanh, who is a Vietnamese monk, a huge proponent of mindfulness, one of the world leaders, and a really lovely, generous, kind man. I once met him while I was at Plum Village, which is his teaching centre in France. It says, "The earth is waiting for you. The earth is always patient and open-hearted. She's waiting for you. She's been waiting for you for the last trillion lifetimes. She can wait for any length of time. She knows you will come back to her one day. Fresh and green, she will welcome you exactly like the first time, because her love never says this is the last time. Because Earth is a loving mother, and she will never stop waiting for you." And the other experience actually I wanted to share with you is that when I was first guided, when I was studying to be a mindfulness teacher at Bangor University, and my tutor at that point was guiding feet on the floor. And all I felt was that somebody was tipping me up, and this is a dissociative experience, probably founded in memory. Not a memory I can remember. I can't say, oh yes, about that time when so-and-so tipped me up, but a felt sense memory in the body that was being pulled back by the invitation to feel my feet. And then, to be honest, when I tried to talk to her about this, she didn't really get it, because it wasn't her experience. And so I had to find my own way through that of, okay, so it's fine, that's what is happening. What else is happening? So by allowing this sense of what was here for me, that my feet weren't very stable, were kind of flying up from the floor, I could kind of, by allowing that, feel through, but what do the nerve endings feel? Because in this moment, actually my feet are touching down. And it's a practice, it's an experiential thing to invite a space of curiosity, to feel what is here now. So there is this sense of flying, but also, gosh, look at that. And I began to be able to feel some faint, far away, undramatic, unexciting, fairly uninteresting sensation of pressure. And by letting that be enough, just as it is, was enough, very gradually this practice started to change for me. Now, I'm not saying this is going to be your experience, because every one of us has our own experience, but I hope it was helpful to share my experience, just so that you know we all find our own way through this. We really do.